I'm with the man himself, Cameron George, talking about the whole night here. One Warriors. Can you just explain to everyone, Cameron, what the one really stands for this year?
Together, connection. New Zealand, everything that was ripped away from us is now back as one. And, timely, Vodafone have changed their name to One New Zealand, and it's now synonymous with us and what we stand for this year as being as one group. And being with our fans, which is great.
You look around the room tonight, you've got so many old boys here, so many old, like whānau that have been here for a long time. Kenny Rainsfield used to be the wrestling coach, is now the chairman. Richie Beck's been here, I think he's about 500 years old. Is he a vampire or not?
Yeah, he's a little bit like that. He's starting to slow down a bit, but Kenny, it's great to have the likes of Kenny back, Richie, you floating around now in the media circles, and Arwen, and just really trying to get back into our past. You know how important that is, and that's been my fault. I've let that slip, and made a promise to myself to get it back on track. And having Wairangi Kupu as our cultural ambassador is a really big signal to everyone in the club that we're taking it very serious about our connection and what our identity is, and really happy the way it's going.
Mate, I've got to take my head off to you with that cultural connection, especially an Australian bringing back that influence and that significant influence too. You talk about the old boys, you talk about one team, one culture, one New Zealand. Over the last 2 weeks, Christchurch packed it out. They were excited to see you play West Tigers. What have you seen over the last 2 weeks that excites you about the year?
Look, off the field's the passion in our sponsors and fans. We know it's there, but to bring them out of the woodwork like they did over the weekend was huge for Christchurch. And this country's in need of a little bit of inspiration. And I think our players are taking that on board as we build up to round one. We've seen a resilience factor really embedded into our team. We've got some really good depth around the club, and that's really pleasing to see. And our young kids are starting to put their hand up, and they're really inspired by the experience and the opportunity, so hopefully they shine through. And I just want, Robbo said it tonight, we all want just commitment, and we all want to have a crack. And if you're deciding not to do that, well, we've got to be pretty quick and moving on, because this club's not going to stand for that sort of standard anymore. We've reset the club this year in a lot of different ways, and our behaviours and expectations are one big part of that.
So you hear Mark Robertson talk about that this week. He just wants to make New Zealand proud. You've gone and hired a coach, which is refreshing for me because he's straight down the line and tells it as it is. Do you think you have the makeup this year? Like, we don't want you to, or we expect you to win a grand final, but we do expect you to start climbing up the ladder. Do you think you've got the right people in place?
Yeah, 100%. Talking to Webby when I rang him and the deal was with him, I said to him, mate, next time I ring you, the job's yours to lose. So we had to go through a little bit of a process, and he was so hungry for it, and I really wanted to ring him again, but we just had to give some thought to a lot of different moving parts. But we've got the right style of person. He's passionate, and we've got the right experience mixed with youth in the team, and we've got the hungry club off the field. And we've all seen it before, but I really feel a feeling about that I haven't felt before, which hopefully is the right feeling. But we just want to be so proud to make you guys proud as old boys, coaches, staff, fans, and we have got the team to climb up the ladder. And there's no excuse for us. And, today we decided, Kempy, that's something that, to really embed ourselves into our future is to introduce the 17s and 19s, 21s next year. So
awesome.
I spoke to New South Wales Rugby League today. They want to welcome us into the comp to have a Harold match, so that'll be the case, and also, a jersey flag. So we'll have 5 teams next year, and that's a commitment from Mark and the club to say to New Zealand, we're coming at you, and we're going to try and get this trophy long term.
So Cam George, you've been around, you've seen the good and the bad. 3 years in Aussie's been an absolute nightmare, like honestly, and talk from your heart here. What does success look like for you this year?
Effort, passion in the jumper, and trusting and not letting each other down. Like, that's from me everywhere. That includes our relationship with you, mate. Like, we want to make you proud every Monday on the airwaves, and I'm sick and tired of being someone belted, and we all are. And we all are. We want to do New Zealand proud, and now's our time, and we just got to go after it. And that's what we're trying to do very quickly, but at the same time we're trying to balance that out to protect our future as well. So effort's probably the biggest word for me.
Mate, I just want to touch on the NZR, the New Zealand Racing Thoroughbred, which you're chairman of. I see, you got Lindsay's and the Alice's sitting in here, great names in the racing game. Butch Castle's from Te Rapa up here, the CEO. Like, bringing those people along on a journey, is that like is it one of your tactics to get good people involved? Because if you get the racing people involved, they're just good people.
Yeah, exactly. And they understand how tough industries can be and how good support helps them. And it wasn't so long here, we had a charity auction here last year that Brendan and David teamed up and paid over $30,000 for a box at a game day for our foundation. So, look, they all bring different things to the sport. We've got a great sport, they've got a great sport, and if we can bring it all together, it just makes New Zealand bigger and better in the sporting arena. And we want to go and take on the Aussies at their own game, and we can do that as one. When we get back to that first question, as one country, one sport, one person, we can go after it. People like them help.
One message, 26 rounds of football, there's going to be some ebbs and flows, some highs, some lows. One message to the community.
Be proud, because our effort's going to be there, and ride the emotion with us. And I really think we've got some special times coming up, and the club are investing in your future, because as good as what we've been for you, you've been better for us, so stick with us.
SENZ.